Everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to do the Atlantean from Arrow Comics. This is a magazine style crowdfunded comic by Russ Leach and Randy Zimmerman with a painted cover. I mean, digital painted. Looks great. I did the first two on my channel, so check it out. Comment, like, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz. It also came with this cool print that you can hang on your wall if you want, or frame it. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's dive right into the story because it's a thick crowdfunded book. I got it on Fund My Comic if I remember it correctly. So yeah, this is the drawn version by Russ Leach before Decenos Rosart is doing then going over it and then turns into this beautiful masterpiece. It looks great, by the way. Also, this very introductory page about what you can expect in this book. So yeah, we start in, I believe, the West Darkov is a city, and this man is running around and screaming that, there's demons running among us. And then, this woman comes in and says, "Hey, stop there, you lunatic." Of course, he's gonna flee, but then he bumps into. Sorry, I always want to say Conan, but this is King Kull. I mean, we've seen King Kull in the last Conan book, that I reviewed on my channel. Comment, like, subscribe, and all that YouTube jazz, by the way. And Brule here, who looks different than here. Brule is more like here Nubian descent. I believe that's the correct word of saying it. Basically, he's a black guy, right? And also, Cole looks also a little bit different. He's undercover because he's looking for the snake people. I still think he looks like a bum. I wish Randy and Russ, changed his attire a little bit. He's looking with this rocket face and this, all this flea, this vest on. It's just give him a little bit more an attire if you want. It's just. He looks like a homeless dude. Anyway, so because this guy is just doing this weird thing here, all these jewels falling out of the bag, and let's see issue number 2, volume 1 in the video that I did, and so Cole jumps off his horse and he says to everyone, "Hey guys, just stay back. These are not for you. These are us." But this guy is stirring up trouble again, and then this woman that pursues him grabs him and he says, "Help, I'm attacked by a demon." I love this panel layout, that she's jumping and and that fills up the gap here. It looks great. And the magazine style is perfect for this book, because you see Russ's art in great glory. The black and white, personal favorite of mine, is a little bit washed out, and it's deliberate, and it looks totally different than the normal, very heavily black being used in black and white comics. I love that. The grayscale complements the art. I like pure black and white. I also like black and white with grayscale. I try to do this similar in the future with my comic, but that's far away. It's just not here and now. But I like black and white, and one day I want to have a black and white version of myself. Who knows? Anyway, so this is the seer, and she says, "Hey, you missed this one," and Cole says, "Hey, I'm surprised you didn't take that one for yourself." And she says, "Well, it's not mine, but it's also not yours." Cole offers her a meal in a local inn because he needs to go there anyway and bring then the jewels back to their rightful owner. She touches his hand, and she is now suddenly surprised, but so she is probably a real seer, right? But then this woman says, "Hey, let me go with you," and also thanking him for helping detain this dolt. She says, "Hey, if you're headed to the Demon's Breath, that's the inn, I might join you. I haven't eaten all day." So she says, but she overheard the conversation, between Kull and the seer, right? Brule says, "I think she likes you." She thinks like you, right? And she says, "Hey, can you bring him to the inn? I'm coming a little bit later. I need to get my horse." And yeah, she has some spirit. I like that. Later at the inn, So we have, a returning character called, what's her name again? She's the innkeeper and the owner of the Gilda, right? And she's happy that, everything turned out good. And also happy that, she got these stones back somehow. And basically, they don't have to pay anything. She's very grateful. Said, hey, you can have anything you want. I'm grateful for what you did as a reward. And yeah. So Brule says, so are you not the law? You live on rewards. She's basically a bounty hunter, right? And she wants to, cash in on this guy for whatever he did. She says, I live on what opportunity provides: war, criminals, demon hunting. I'm not afraid of hard work. I go wherever Valka takes me. Sounds familiar, says Brule, and Kull knows that life. And we see a little bit of a flashback when he was a little boy, that he was a slave, he was a mercenary before he became a king, right? And sometimes he yearns to that life again because, the life of a king is not always exciting. So she says, my name is Latal. So they're introducing themselves. And this old woman, also very thankful, Maven, says, hey, can I read your fortune? So she says, the last time my fortune was read, I had an enemy being exiled from Toul. So they're doing this. So she's doing this, and she has some stones here. And a true warrior has traveled the seas. You have seen many lands and faced many dangers. Yeah, because, he is friends with Kull, right? And she says, I see a bold fighter, a warrior, I see you. Yet you must be more cautious. There is danger around you and from within you. That is interesting. You seek the serpent, yet you fear if you kill it, it might kill you. You're looking for snakes, she says. And then the seer says, hey, what about you, kind one? So she's reading this Kull's poem, and then you have fought in many battlefields, some physical, some not. You wear many titles, each paid for in blood: exile, savage, killer, conqueror, destroyer, unifier, and king? She says, no, wait. And then, not a king, the king. And then she's bowing, for your majesty, please forgive this feeble old woman for not seeing it sooner. But Brule and Kull says, no, just stand up. We are in incognito, basically, right? It would impair our quest quickly before anyone enters the inn. I was wondering how Latar is reacting, but she is not reacting at all, which I find a little bit strange. That comes up a little bit later, that she basically acknowledging, so you were king after all, right? So, but then the seer something says, you must travel to the edge of the city, find the ruins of the Gan family. Your destiny lie there. And you as well, hunter, you must travel with them. He says, me? Why? Right? Well, your bounty has escaped, and you shall be there, as is your destiny. So, okay, this madman is escaping, right? And she says, hey, you need to leave at once, and time of is of the essence. Above all, keep your wits about you. You are more important to this world than you know, all of you. All right. So, and then she is acknowledging here that she says, hey, we travel with a king, and what, pray tell, is this a king's quest? We ride to rid the world of the race of serpent demons, intend to take the throne, he says. Demons? Actually demons? I fought my share of beasts, but she doesn't believe in demons, basically. All right. So they are, basically, they are telling the tale of the demons and the serpent kind. So she's being informed, and then they go to this estate, right? Looks great, man. I really like Russ Leach's art. He's a phenomenal artist. And this is their own depiction of how, this is basically, inspired by Robert E. Howard's greatest characters. So they give their own spin on it. And I like that, and I think they really do it justice. This is a very fun, easy to read. I must say the first one is not really enjoyable for me. And I know I had some problems with it. The second one, way better. This one, I think, even better, or on equal foot, right? So this is definitely worth picking up if you are interested in these kind of, art and storytelling. So we have this madman. And he's going into this manor, and he says, "Hey, quiet down, you wake the dead." And so Brule says, "Hey, the serpent's eye, it glows. Serpent magic is near." But then Kull says, "Hey, just leave it," which I find a little bit strange. I mean, this is a very important artifact, but he says, "Just leave it and come with us." So they're going into this compound. She is strong too. She is not afraid to get her hands dirty. Look at this lighting, this black and white and the lighting and the shading, etc. Looks great. Anyway, so they're going in, and there's also, so Brule says, "Beware of ghosts." So, and she says, "Ghosts? The demons enslave the soul of those they kill. You think your serpent demons resides in here? This place stinks of their foul magic." All right, so they're going in, and as you can see, there is a lot of serpent men in here. Lafar is in shock because he has never seen, demonic creatures before. But Brule and Kull just jumped right into the action, ready to kill them all. And it looks great. It looks really good. So we have a fight here. My only complaint here, and it was my complaint here, except that, Kull looks like a bum, but that's a personal problem that I have with the character, is that they are really, really strong, but for me, they're a little bit too invincible, you know what I mean, right? Also, Lafar is now overcoming her shock and joins the party, and, a lot of fighting here, and looks great, but these guys are, these are just 3 of them. They should normally, and that's, again, my complaint in the last volume as well, they should easily be getting overwhelmed by these snake men, but they are not. They are just killing them left and right, which makes me think, or Kull and Brule are fantastic fighters, which they are, and they are, complement each other's fighting styles and very well. But still, a little bit more pushback would have been nice. Anyway, so this cook comes in, and Brule says, "Hey, we need you to answer a few questions and lead us to the rest of your serpent brothers." But then these creatures just fleeing and running away. More guards, they're being, dealt with. So this guy is escaping. And, so they're going into this lair, in this, right? So Lafar needs then, fire with them. And they reek, or they smell the stench of death. And then there's a body on the floor. Is that the one we pursue? It looks similar, but this is not the imp we've chased. It's bigger. Why is it here, by the way? Why is it dead? I wonder. Maybe I miss a key element here or not, but for me it's a little bit still unclear why this guy is dead on something. Did one of them just go? No, right? So this is not a guy. Anyway, so Brule says, "Hey, we need to move forward." And then they say, we are being followed, more than one. Valka, they glow. Indeed, we have faced this before, as in the Shadow Kingdom, which is I believe, the more trade paperback, thick kind of book also. That was before the Atlantean, by the way. I really did not enjoy that. It's the same writing and the same art, but it was way too wordy. Every panel has words, which was a little bit overwhelming for me personally. Anyway, so these ghosts comes in, and they are all crazed up, and, they are screaming, and then they are, waking up, chained. And she is looks great, by the way. "What did the ghost do to us?" she says. "The chain? Why chain us like Fulian slaves? Why not simply kill us?" But these are also old chains. And then there is this voice of this creature here, and she is Parva Set, mother of serpents, midwife of the spawn of the queen. Basically, and I don't know, she has sorceress power, or maybe because her hand smokes all the time, maybe just fumes and chemicals and brewery to for these, spawn here. She says, this queen did warn me about your quest and the trouble you have caused. And honestly, I didn't take her warning seriously. But despite your murdering my lovely guards, I will still bestow upon you a great honor. This generation's first meal will be of strong warrior blood. All right, so basically these creatures are popping out of the eggs and, gonna eat Kull, Brule, and Lafar. I said her name correct, right? Latal. Wait a minute. Latal. I said Lafar. Not sure why I said that. Anyway, moving on. So I was here, and but Kull is, of course, protesting. You underestimate our strength as well as the age of this change demon. As soon as I'm free, it will be your blood spilled. All right, so he only breaks one, but then these creatures are hatching, right? And let the feast begin. And they are, tugging on these chains to get loose. And like I said, it looks great. But then this madman comes in with all swords and daggers and weaponry. And he, throws them at Kull and he breaks loose. And then, cleaves them one of them in two. And then the real fight begins. So they are free. And then, they are basically slaughtering this whole brood here, this whole new hatchlings and creatures. Looks great. The Queen Mother was right. This worm is the destroyer. Again, looks great. But I'm not sure how strong these little ones are. But maybe, like I said, there are a lot of them, overwhelming. But they are just too strong for Kull and his crew. This creature, female creature, knows that, she's defeated and lunges forwards. Parva knows she is undone. Look what you've done. You do not know it. You do not yet know it. But what have you done here has sealed your fate. I won't see it, but I know die. Knowing the Queen Mother will run her unholy vengeance down upon you and yours. From the heart of the serpent, she will send her best to find you. They destroy the destroyer. And then she's falling apart, exploding. She also says, do they normally explode? All right. And Kull says, I'll be waiting. Cool. So the threat is over. But then ghosts are coming. And he says, how do I fight them? Wait, look. They mean us no harm. They are now released. What just happened? The demons enslaved the souls of those they kill. With the death of their killers, they are free. All that remain is the foul stench of demons. So she says, I'm taking care of that. And she is burning the whole lot. But if you look closely, she has now a white streak in her hair that she hasn't had before. I mean, this, as you can see here. And you can say, well, probably the lighting, right? But no. And basically, Brule is saying that. Said, did you see her hair? I hadn't noticed till now. Ghosts and demons can leave their mark on even the greatest warriors. It's a nice touch. But basically, so they are going out, they are survived. And she says, hey, did you see that guy? I still need to take him in and bring him into justice for coin, right? But then she says, hey, she says that she's learning a lot about the ways of, that there is more to this world that she actually believed. I mean, she's been told about stories about demons and, the fabled eye of the serpent, but it turns out very real. The witch spoke of the heart of the serpent, a name I heard spoken of only in whispers until today. You know what she meant? Talking about, the witch that died. And she says, yes, I heard Fulians call a mountain range by that name. They are are to the north of the Black Mountains. Basically, there is where they need to go, right? So they are, have a new journey that leads us to the next issue. So Kull says, hey, why don't you come with us? He says, no, I have my fill of serpents and ghosts. I'll help keep the law there. Unless, of course, your majesty commands I accompany you. He says, no, do as you will, but if you ever make to Valusia, I would offer you a place in the Red Guard in first service to me. All right. And then at the end, we see this madman coming to this seer again. You want some coin? Stay away from me, you snake. Is that just a wordplay, or is he a snake in disguise and plays a different kind of game, right? I mean, if he is a snake, which I'm not entirely sure of, maybe he has his own plans and, I don't know. He says, if I see you again, I'll slit your mad throat. Fine, fine. I just thought you want to know. Know what exactly? Away I go. Ho, ho, ho. I already knew. Valka, watch over our king. Watch over us all. And then we go to, the next issue that's probably now being written and, being drawn as we speak. We have also some fan letters from, backers, which I really, really like. I mean, I was in the last issue too. Or was it in the first one? I cannot remember. Anyway, so Mike Murphy, I know. Nick Weiser, I know. PT Mama, I know. Pitima, yeah. And yeah, a couple of others. So great stuff. Overall, great quality, great book. I highly recommend it. Also a pinup by Alex Sarabia and Gary Giro. Yeah. And more Russ Leach art here on the back. Published by Chris.